running up the score. Jerry.
He just sucks.
He's not good.
let's just put it out on the table. He's not a good quarterback.
Oh, way to join a team that already won a title.
You know, Ben is unique. These guys are unique. They're championship runs. I mean, this one's unique.
Let's hope some people still get thrown at and, get hit in baseball.
Keep it interesting,
right?
yeah.
I can't take this guy serious right now.
I dare you to watch it and tweet us. Tell us, you know what? This is a hell of a sport.
Where's this been all my life?
The New York Jets you know what they need to do with their second round pick? They need to just start taking it and lighting it up on fire.
Where's that quarter? Let me look at that one more time.
This is Running Up the Score. And it starts now.
All right, it's time to run up the score. Running up the score with Jerry Napoleonello, 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. Brought to you by Yell5 Sports app. We are live on Zenolive and Periscope. It has been a really long time since I've been in here giving you guys a show. Recently, I've been busy with both my jobs. There's been so much that I've missed, but it couldn't have been a better time to make it back here. We have the NCAA tournament going on. We got the National Championship game tonight between Villanova and Michigan. Baseball is back in action. NBA regular season is in its final week. You always know there's some kind of football news out there as well. We'll get into all of that and much more. But thanks for joining us. We got a great show ahead of us. We'll start off just because baseball's back. We're going to start off with baseball. Now, we're about, probably everybody's around their third, fourth, maybe fifth game. Yankees were snowed out today. The Mets were snowed out today. You could even say that the Islanders were snowed out because of Garth Snow. Not actually snowed out, but you get it. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I want to talk about, especially with the Yankees. I'm going to get into that. How about the Phillies? These are teams with new managers, and it's starting to show that there's inexperience out there, we could say. But now, I wanted to talk about, something real quick. It was kind of stupid, but it happened in the Orioles-Twins game. They were playing Sunday, ninth inning. The Orioles are down 7-0. Chance Sisco comes up in the ninth inning. Now, mind you, again, they're down 7-0. They put a shift on, and Sisco bunted to the left side and got a base hit. The Twins players weren't happy about it. Now, I don't understand that. I don't understand why you could get mad at something like that. The kid's trying to get on base. When it comes down to it, you're in the ninth inning, you're down. You want to put some you want to put some runs on the board. You got to put some runs on the board. But to put runs on the board, you have to have people on base. And that's what he did. He got on base. So if you don't want him to bunt to that side, don't shift. I don't understand the whole shift. I don't like it. I think it's a dumb thing that baseball has done the last couple of years. Putting shift on players. It's stupid. What's even more stupid is that players aren't going after that shift. If they're shifted on, why not hit against it? Why not, go to that open side? You guys are Major League Baseball players. Why not do that? But Chance Sisco did that. And the fact that the Twins players got mad is absolutely ridiculous. So it was one out. He bunted to the left side, got on base. But the Orioles eventually loaded the bases. Jose Barrios ended up getting out of trouble, but still he loaded the bases. That doesn't happen if Chance Sisco doesn't bunt. Now, Brian Dozier was a little outspoken on it. He said, I could have said something, but they have tremendous veteran leadership over there with Chris Davis, Adam Jones, and those guys. I'm sure they'll address it and move forward. Now, what do they have to address? I mean, as a veteran leader, wouldn't you want your player, your teammate, to try everything that he can do to get on base? What Brian Dozier's saying right now, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. So then Jose Barrios, the pitcher at the time, says, I don't care if he's bunting. I just know it's not good for baseball in that situation. That's it. What's not good about it? This is what we want baseball to be. Baseball should be small ball. Should be anything that you could do to get on base to help your team win the game. This is blowing my mind that the team is literally complaining about this. The player was trying to get on base, and he did that by any means necessary, and that counts as a base hit. You want to shift on him, he's going to bunt to that side and get a base hit. I can't tell you how many times I wanted Jason Giambi to do that, Mark Teixeira to do that. Any guys, it's an easy base hit. You get on base. Sisco told the reporters he was doing what he could to get on base. Just trying to mess with the timing of the game, Sisco said, according to the Baltimore Sun. He was kind of going through the lineup, just trying to do what I can to get on base. They were playing the shift right there, so they kind of gave it to me. If they're going to shift, I have to take right there in that spot. We got bases loaded right after that. We're a couple of home runs away from tying the game. Bases loaded, Jones or Scoop hits a home run right there. We're a couple of runs away from being back in the game. Before his bunt in the ninth, Sisco had the only other hit the Orioles had at that point, a double in the third. So again, why are you complaining about this? Why? Because you shifted on him and he actually beat your shift? He was actually smart enough to hit to that side that was open, that you're going to leave open? This is every single player. This is what every single player that gets shifted on should be doing. It is not hard to bunt. The fact that Major League Baseball players cannot do that is ridiculous. The fact that Major League Baseball players can hit to the opposite side is also ridiculous. This is the problem with the league nowadays. It's not because he's bunting in the ninth inning down 7-0. No, it's that you guys are actually pulling a shift on him, and you don't want him to bunt. That's the problem. Not that he bunted. He bunted, got on base, they loaded the bases up. The next guy hits a home run, it's down 7-4. So the whole thing just does not make sense to me. It doesn't make sense that the Twins even had the balls to complain about that. But now we go on to the Yankees. Now, I have a lot to talk about with the Yankees. And a lot of it has to go with Aaron Boone. So, to me, he made a few managerial mistakes. It's to me. This is my opinion on him. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I like Aaron Boone. I really do. I don't know how good of a manager he's going to end up being, but I like him as a guy. I like him. He was a Yankee. He, had one of the biggest hits in Yankee history against the Red Sox in Game 7. Brought him to the World Series. They ended up losing, to the Marlins. But Aaron Boone came into this. Now, many say, he doesn't really have to do much because he's got such a good team. So now, right now, the Yankees come into this season. You lose Greg Bird to injury. You're probably gonna be missing him for about 6 to 8 weeks. Then you lose Jacoby Ellsbury's out. Clint Frazier's out. So now you're kind of the one position that you felt like you had a lot of depth in is no more. So now, my issues. Now, it first starts off, this is not an in-game kind of thing. This is before the game. The lineup is killing me. I don't like Aaron Judge in the 2 spot. I don't. And I understand that he's trying to break up lefties and rights. I understand that. I know how that works. I know that's why they have Didi Gregorius at the 4th spot. I don't like Didi in the 4th spot. He is not a cleanup hitter. He's not. So can we fix that, please? Judge, Stanton, or Sanchez should be in that 4th spot. Now, I understand you're losing Greg Bird. I understand that. It kind of boggles up the lineup there. I understand that. But we have to change this up. We have to. And I know that the new, way of thinking about it is, if your best hitter or whatever is in the top 3 in the lineup, he's going to get more at bats than everybody else in the lineup. I understand that. Judge is not your best hitter. I'm sorry, he's not. So he should not be in the 2nd hole. To me, now if you want to keep it this way, all right, fine. Then switch it up the way you go with, say, I would really like to have Didi in the 2nd spot, but I understand that he's trying to break it up. He wants to break up Sanchez, Stanton, and Judge. I understand that. All 3 righties, whatever. But ultimately, I like Didi in the 2nd hole. It's not going to happen the way I like it. Okay? I understand that. So now, why not maybe put Stanton in the 2 spot? Now, this is going by the way that he has it right now. Stanton is a better hitter than Aaron Judge is. So have Stanton in the 2 spot. But this is where I would change it up. Now I would put Didi in the 3 spot, and then I would put Stanton 4, Sanchez. Then I would do Sanchez 4, Judge 5. Judge should be behind Stanton and Sanchez. He does not. He's not as good of a hitter as those other 2. When Greg Bird comes back into this lineup, it's going to change a lot now. Because then you could put him, because he's a lefty, and you put him in, and you have, say, you go with Didi 2, Stanton 3, maybe Sanchez 4, Greg Bird 5, Judge 6. That's how I like it. I don't like Judge any higher than 5 or 6. I'm sorry. I don't. That's just me using the eye test on Aaron Judge and seeing him up at bat and just seeing how he plays out in at bat. He's a 5 or 6 hitter. So that's my first thing with Aaron Boone. Second was the other night putting Betances in for 2 innings. I don't know what it is with Betances, but the guy cannot throw to bases. He just can't. I don't know what it is. The guy can throw 98 miles per hour right down the pipe, but can't throw it over to first base, second base, third base, or even home plate if it's not a pitch. I don't understand it. He did it, he's done it all year last year. He did it the other night. The fact that you let Pilar steal home plate is absolutely ridiculous. I knew it, and I called it right as it was happening. Just the way that he was dancing up and down the third base line there, I knew he was going. He literally put it out there. I'm stealing home plate, and you're not going to do anything about it. I don't know why, maybe, and I understand you don't want to hold him on because you don't want to give up that shortstop and third base hole to make it even bigger. I understand that with a guy on third. But you got to keep him honest. It was like Betances didn't even look over at him. He steals home plate. You step off. You still had a good shot of throwing him out, and he threw it right at the backstop. Not even close. Not even close. I mean, terrible. Terrible. So, that's number 2. The fact that he held him in for 2 innings, I don't know why he did that. I don't understand. And the way I was just trying to kind of maybe see what Aaron Boone was trying to do. I guess I'm guessing that he's trying to figure out who he wants in the 8th spot. That's a no-brainer. There's no reason to think about it. It's David Robertson. And I know what happened yesterday. I understand that. But I'll get to that. It should be Betances 7, Robertson 8, Chapman 9. There should not be any other ifs, ands, or buts about it. And Betances cannot go 2 innings. I'm sorry. He cannot. Please, let's go. He cannot. Stop doing that. Don't do it ever again. Now, I'm not going to sit here and second-guess every single thing that Aaron Boone does. I'm not going to be that way. To be honest with you, when you look at the managers that the Yankees have had in the last 20-odd years, they weren't the greatest. Joe Torre wasn't the greatest manager. He was just blessed with what he got. Not every day you come up and have a guy like Derek Jeter, a guy like Tino Martinez, Bernie Williams, Scott Brocious, Jorge Posada, Joe Girardi at one point, Paul O'Neill. It doesn't happen like that. Mariano Rivera, it doesn't happen like that. We saw what Joe Torre was kind of all about, towards the end of that era where we started to lose some of those players and you had to actually manage the team. We saw what Joe Torre was all about. Joe Girardi comes in. He's handed a hell of a team. CeCe, AJ Burnett, Mark Teixeira, Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano. That's a dream come true. So you win the World Series in 2009. Joe Torre wins all his World Series. And then it starts to get to a point where you got to actually manage the team. And it doesn't work. So I feel like with Aaron Boone, it's going to kind of come that way as well. It's not every day that you get a guy like Giancarlo Stanton. It's not every day that you get a young talent like Aaron Judge or Gary Sanchez or Luis Severino. It's not every day. These are not everyday rosters that a manager gets. So it's kind of hard to really see what kind of managers these guys are. So I'm not putting Aaron Boone on the chopping block right now. I'm just saying what I felt like were mistakes. So now I'm going to my third mistake here with Aaron Boone. It was walking Donaldson. Okay, and I understand Donaldson has good numbers against Robertson. I understand that it would load the bases and there'd be a force at every base. But you're going with a right on right instead of a left on right. It's automatically a little bit better. And it's not the bases loaded. Again, a little bit better. So now you load the bases up and go to their, probably one of their most dangerous, batters in their lineup. And I don't care what anybody says. People might say that Donaldson is their most dangerous hitter. I understand that. He's a great hitter, and I know he has good numbers against Robertson, but it wasn't with the bases loaded, and Donaldson's not a lefty. He's a righty. So then you go to Smoke, and he's a lefty who's already has a 2-run home run in the game, who's probably one of their most dangerous, if not their most dangerous batter in their lineup. So it automatically puts a lot more stress on Robertson because the bases are loaded. He has no room for error. So he can't walk this guy. So he can't get into a 3-1 count. He can't get into a 3-2 count because it's a little bit more stress. And with Smoke, all you got to do is just wait on a fastball. And that's what happened. He waited out those curveballs. He fouled them off. He stayed because he was a lot earlier on the curveballs, on the changeups. He sat on a fastball. Sat on a fastball, and got a fastball and hit it out of the park with a grand slam. So, to me, I don't like that move. I didn't like that move. David Cohn didn't like that move. He said it right on the broadcast. If you were watching the Yankee game, it's just those are the mistakes to me so far in the first 4 games. Yankees were snowed out today, so they didn't get to see their their home opener today. They're gonna have to wait for tomorrow, 4:00. There's snow in the New York area, and it is April. I know it's crazy. You actually had to look down at the calendar to see, talking about snow and hearing April. It doesn't fit. We're in spring, and we're getting 1 to 3 to 5 inches down in the New York area. It's sickening to me. Sickening. So on to another inexperienced manager who's kind of all over the place, I guess you could say. Gabe Kapler, the new manager for the Phillies. He had some trouble the other night. So he put in a pitcher from the bullpen that didn't warm up. Didn't even warm up. Gabe Kapler has used 21 pitchers in 3 innings and 3 games. There's something wrong. It's going to be interesting to see because at least, in the New York area, a lot of people are going to be able to see Gabe Kapler come this week because the Phillies come into Citi Field. So, people will be watching Gabe Kapler. So we'll see. But the rate he's going right now, he might not see the All-Star break in a Phillies uniform. So I thought that was kind of funny. So we're going to transition here to some college basketball. And you would think I would start off with the national championship game tonight. Villanova, Michigan. This bracket this year has been everything. Upsets here, upsets there. Great games here, great finishes there. You would think I would start off with that. Talking college basketball, you would think I would start off with that. No. I'm starting off with the national championship game in women's college basketball. Agumbawale. Remember that name. I don't know what you're going to have to remember it for, but probably only for these 2 shots that she's made. So, obviously, everybody knows about the juggernaut UConn in women's basketball. 36-0. Going against Notre Dame in the Final Four. Comes down to a last-second shot in overtime. Agumbawale hits it at the buzzer. they win that game. They beat the juggernaut UConn Huskies. They move on to the national championship game against Mississippi State. She does it again. Last second shot. And Notre Dame was down big in this game. In the first half, they were down big. And I know college basketball in women's, they go quarters. But in the first half, Notre Dame was down big. Came down to it, 58-58. About 4 seconds left. Ogunbowale hits a shot, an unreal shot. A runner, running to her right, throwing to her left, nails the shot at the buzzer. Notre Dame wins that game. I mean, now, not trying to be sexist or anything like that. I'm not into women's basketball. I'll watch women's soccer, World Cup. Nothing really else. I watched the women's hockey world, in the Olympics. That was an amazing game. So I'm not trying to be sexist here. I'm just not into women's basketball. So, other than last year UConn losing and probably this last game that Notre Dame won, I'm not watching women's basketball. But this was everything. This is something that you want to see. If you're a sports fan, this is something that you want to see. A last-second shot to win it all. That's what you want to see. And they did it. And it was actually a really good game. So now what you're hoping for is this Michigan-Villanova game to be good. I don't think it's going to be that good. I don't think it's going to be that close. I think Villanova is going to trounce them. Michigan just does not shoot well, does not shoot a free throw well. Villanova shoots the ball very well. Their guard play is unreal. Villanova is the best team in the college basketball right now. That's why I picked them to win it all. Unfortunately, I didn't really do that well earlier in the bracket, so I'm not up for any money this national championship. So I'm really rooting for Villanova. Really, Michigan, all they have is the guy Mo Wagner. And that he's not going to win you the game. He's a big man. He's an athletic big man. I know that. I understand that. But they have no shooting. I mean, Villanova hit like 22 3-pointers or whatever it was in the Final Four game against Kansas. I mean, if that happens with Villanova, Michigan's not going to be able to hold up with Villanova if they're hitting shots like that. And I understand that Michigan is holding their opponents to about 59 points or whatever it is, average 59 points. That's not going to happen with Villanova. Villanova is going to score well over 70, and I could see this game being about a 10 to 15 point game. Villanova wins this. They're going to win it. All right, that's all I got to say about that. Going on to some other basketball in the NBA. What's the deal with Kevin Durant? What is with him? Ever since he's gone to the Golden State Warriors, he's been a jerk. He really has been a jerk. I mean, I would have better words for it, but FCC really doesn't like those words on the radio. So I'm not going to use them. I'm just going to call him a jerk. He's been a jerk. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's trying to play the villain role or he's just, salty at like what everybody else thinks of him. I don't know what it is. But, I think ever since that MVP, press conference where he called his mom the real MVP, Kevin Durant has been downhill ever since then. Moving on to the Warriors, I mean, he just became a jerk. He really has become a jerk. I mean, he's got I think he's top 2 in ejections this year. I mean, I don't know what it is with Kevin Durant. He's got something going on with him. And the other thing, talking about the Warriors, well, will the Warriors outlast all their injuries? And they have, Klay Thompson just finally made his way back. He had 23 and 25 in his first 2 games being back. Draymond Green made his way back. Everybody's really worrying about, Steph Curry and what will happen. Will he miss that first series? And if you ask Steve Kerr, yeah, he's going to miss that first series. You talk to Steph Curry, he thinks he'll be back. But who knows? Can the Warriors win a series without Steph Curry? To me, yes, I think they could win that first series without Steph. I think they could. I mean, you do have Kevin Durant, who some may think he's the best in the game, and some may say he's the top 5, whatever. Either way, he's in the top 5. I would say top 3. But I don't know what it is with Kevin Durant. I just feel like he can't carry a team. And it's just funny because I had that different narrative when he was on OKC. I felt like Russell Westbrook was really holding him back. And now I'm kind of seeing it the opposite way. I'm kind of seeing that Kevin Durant was that second fiddle to Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's holding up that team in OKC. And I know they have Paul George, and Paul George is playing out of his mind. But still, I think Warriors and the Rockets in the conference finals would be great. I would love to see that, but who knows? It all depends on if Steph Curry's is healthy. I still think that they could get close. I think they could at least get to the conference finals without Steph. In the West, it's a lot harder. You have Portland, you have the Rockets, you have OKC, you have top-notch teams. But, I just feel like the Warriors are just that good that, they really don't need Steph Curry for the first series, at least for the first series, possibly for the second series. So now going on to the East, as bad as the Cavs have been, is there a team in the East that will hold off another finals run for LeBron? And I don't think so. I mean, it's sad to say because the Cavs are just not a good team. They really aren't a good team. But is there another team in the East that can knock them off? And I don't think so. Toronto is that, that seasoned team where, they're really great in the regular season. They get into the playoffs and it's just a different team. Kyle Lowry's a different player. DeMar DeRozan's a different player. It's just funny, and I just don't see any other team knocking off the Cavaliers from getting into the finals. Do I think that the Cavaliers will beat the Warriors in the finals? I don't think so. Do I think the Cavaliers will beat the Rockets in the finals? I don't know. That's a toss-up. But I don't think so. But I see the Cavs being in the finals. Now, moving on to some miscellaneous stuff, but big time in golf. It's the Masters. Is this the Masters or the major or the tournament that Tiger finally makes his comeback official? And official meaning a win. Tiger win. Tiger Sunday. Red, black, everything. And I think it is. Tiger's the favorite. He's been playing well. I think he finally makes his way back. He finally shows that he's back, and he wins the Masters and then goes on a Tiger tear. At least that's what I'm hoping to see. Because that's the only time I watch golf is when Tiger's there. Tiger Sunday. Red and black everything. You got to love it. You got to love it. Tiger is the reason golf is where it's at right now. Tiger is the reason that people watch golf. He's everything about golf. And I think this is the tournament. This is the Masters. Tiger makes his way back. Tiger shows everybody that he's back. Red Black Everything, Tiger Sunday. Tweet us at RUTS Sports. You can follow us on Instagram, RUTS Sports, or like us on Facebook. When I get back, we're going to get into more baseball stuff. I want to give some predictions. I want to give a whole bunch of stuff when it comes to baseball. And then we'll talk about some NFL moves and rumors and draft stuff. But first, hey, doesn't it get annoying when you're watching sports? Let's say you want to send a text to your friend or tweet something out about the game or check your fantasy team. Or hey, how about you want to go to the game and even set up a tailgate party, or you have to go to all these different apps, websites, etc. to do all of that? What if you could just go to one place for all of this? Well, I'm here to tell you there is a place like that, and it's the Yell5 Sports app. You can get detailed real-time scores, stats, news, rumors, fantasy news, team and player comparisons, built-in social network feature, which is integrated with Twitter and Facebook, create private one-to-one or group chat with your friends, buy and sell tickets, host a tailgate party, or even a pickup game. One sports app for all your sports information. Make sure you go download Yell5 Sports app in the iTunes App Store. Yell5, the only sports app that you need.
All Noise Radio. Powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. All Noise Radio is an internet radio station that's fully produced by graduates of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. From modern rock to old school hip hop, country to classical, news, talk, sports, and more. It's the noise you can't ignore. Log on to allnoiseradio.com. Fire up the station. Find out more about your favorite jocks. Get the latest CSB news and more. Plus, you can take All Noise Radio with you on the go for free. Just download the Live 365 app to your iPhone, iPod Touch, or BlackBerry and search All Noise Radio. Check out tomorrow's broadcasters today at allnoiseradio.com. Powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Hey, this is Jerry Napoleonello, host of Running Up the Score. We are live once every week at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we hit on all the top headlines in the world of sports. You can also find us on Stitcher, iTunes, and those of you that like the visual aspect, check us out on YouTube. Running Up the Score. We run up the score on Sports Radio.
Cyberstation USA is the future of radio. Get your business into the online future at the world's largest internet radio station. From banner placement on our homepage to any of our broadcaster stages, commercials on our video player, audio spots on any of our shows, or at the beginning of any of our on-demand broadcasts. Cyberstation USA offers competitive rates with a worldwide reach. A fully integrated one-stop shop social media broadcast platform. For more information, please contact our sales department at Cameo at cyberstationusa.com.
And on and on and on. 'Cause we're gonna be legends. Gonna get their attention. What we're doing here ain't just scary.
Now back to Running Up the Score. Here's Jerry.
Yeah, we're gonna be legends.
All right, first call in at 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. You can also follow and tweet us at RUTS Sports, as well as follow us on Instagram at RUTS Sports. Check out our website, rutsports.weebly.com, and make sure you go check out Yell5 Sports app, the only sports app that you need. Now, I know it's been a while since I've been back. Well, it's been a while since I've been in here. I was working. I've been, some people may know my other job. Obviously I work at Sirius XM. On the weekends, I work Saturday and Sundays in the sports newsroom. I cut highlights and stuff like that. So, I'm always in the sports news, whether it be, during the games, because I cut highlights of the games, cut post-game press conferences and stuff like that. But my other job during the week, I work in, the motion picture union. So, I work on TV shows, movies, and stuff like that. So I was just working on The Americans. I was on there for about 3.5 weeks or so. So I never really got a chance to come in here, and I was dying to come in here. There was so much to talk about, especially in the NFL. It's hard to find the time, especially if I don't have I don't have a home studio. So I have to come in here, and I'm at the the mercy of, scheduling here. I'm at the mercy of like my job, what time I'm going to be getting out. So it's hard for me to get in as much as I used to. But I'm going to try to get in here every Monday, like usual. There's, I don't want to say it's good news or, whatever it is, whatever you want to consider it. But Tom Galopani, my co-host for a little while, he was obviously the co-founder of Tom and Jerry Sports Show. And I don't know if you guys remembered when I said that, he was, going into the Army. Well, he is back. He ended up getting injured, whatever, not life-threatening, so that's that's good. But there's a chance that he makes his way back, and there's a chance that we get running up the score with Tom and Jerry, and maybe eventually, which I know that it's been like a broken record. I know whoever does listen to us on a regular basis, or listens to me on a regular basis, I've always said I wanted to get Kevin in, I wanted to get Tom in, myself, all three of us in here. I thought it would be a great show. I still think it would be a great show. It's just hard schedule wise with jobs and everything like that, life. So I'm still holding out hope that happens. I'm not holding my breath though, so I don't want everybody else to hold their breath. But like I said, this is something that I do as a passion. This is something that I do to have fun. I love talking about sports. I would really love, for people to call in. That's my next step. I want to get people to call in. But I need everybody out there to help me here. I need everybody out there to spread the word. And just put running up the score out there. I can promise you that I will not let anybody down when it comes down to talking sports. I'm not. So I want to get to that point where it's like, help me out. I want let me get there. Once I get there, I'm good. So call in, topics, questions. You don't like what I had to say? Tell me. Tweet me. Send me a message on or a comment on pictures on Instagram or Twitter or whatever you want to do. Let me know, because I will gladly bring it to the show. I'm not going to sit here and, I'm like, basically what I'm doing right now is giving you my opinion. You're not giving me your opinion. So I just got to put out my show as my opinion, and nobody else is going to, obviously nobody's going to change that. I'm always going to be here, and I'm going to give you hot takes, and that's what I'm good at. That's what I'm good at. I'm going to tell you, especially in the New York area, you're not going to like a lot of things that I'm going to have to say, especially if you're a Giants fan. So, that's where it could get interesting. Call in, please call in. People on Periscope that are watching on Periscope, that do watch on Periscope, message me on there. Send a question, or again, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. RUTS Sports. It's very easy. You could also go to the website, rutsports.weebly.com. You'll get all the information of every website that we're on, and that's the thing. So now we get back to the sports part. So I wanted to get into some predictions and stuff like that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So I got predictions of the AL. I got predictions of the NL. I got predictions of awards and stuff like that. So we're gonna get into all of that here in the next 20 minutes or so. So we'll start off with the AL. The AL East will start off. The Yankees added Giancarlo Stanton. The Red Sox won the division last year and added JD Martinez. So, to me, I don't think that, first of all, the Red Sox didn't win the AL East by a lot last year. And the Yankees weren't supposed to be where they were. They could have won that division. It came down to it where there was, they had some bad losses at the end of the season. So, Boston ended up, relinquishing that AL East crown. But the Yankees weren't too far off last year. And then you add a guy that hit 57 or so home runs last year, won the NL MVP, and then, this guy has the Red Sox winning it. I'm sorry. I don't like picking my teams. Obviously, I'm a very superstitious kind of guy. And I don't like picking my teams, especially if during football seasons. I won't pick the Dallas Cowboys from for winning games and stuff like that, or even just putting them out in playoffs and stuff like that, whatever. But yeah, I don't see how the Reds adding JD Martinez, does that even compare to Giancarlo Stanton? Are you kidding me? Like that, there's no comparison. AL Central, Indians, obviously got that in the bag. AL West, the Astros, obviously. The wild card, I would have to say probably, I'd have to say the Red Sox, obviously. I don't, this guy has the Blue Jays getting into the other wild card spot. I don't know. I don't see that. I mean, they got a decent, they got a decent lineup. But I don't know. I don't see the Blue Jays, really taking over that last wild card spot. But again, I don't know who you would pick to take that last wild card spot. Maybe the Angels, but I don't think so. I don't think they got the pitching for that. But as far as it goes right now, they have the Blue Jays in, and we'll see. This guy has the Indians being the AL champion over the Astros. I don't see that either. And again, this is it's not time stamped. Actually, it was time stamped. So this is from yesterday. This is from. No, this wasn't. No, that's when I printed it out. Duh. But yeah, it's not timestamped, so I don't know what he, when he wrote this. So I'm guessing it's before. Oh, it's right here, March 28th, 2018. So this is just recently. This is right before the season started. And for some reason, a lot of people don't like the Yankees. I don't understand it because I have another article here where they had multiple writers pick their teams for each division, the wild card, the MVP, the Cy Young, and the World Series. So I'll get into that as well. I'll give you mine. But again, this one has the Dodgers beat the Indians to win the World Series. I don't know. They have the MVP, Josh Donaldson, in a contract year in the prime of his career. In a hitter's ballpark, he could hit .330 with 45 home runs at 140 RBIs. I don't see that happening, but whatever. Cy Young, they have Chris Sale. Rookie of the Year, they have Shohei Ohtani. And Comeback of the Year, they have Rougned Odor. So we move on to the NL. And again, I would love for you guys to answer it yourself. Give me your NL East, AL East, NL Central, AL Central, NL West, AL West teams, division winners. Send it to me on Twitter. Send it to me on Facebook. Whatever you want to do, send it to me. Your wild card teams, your NL champ, your World Series, your MVPs, your Cy Youngs, your Rookie of the Years, your Comeback Player of the Years, whatever it is. Just send it to me. I want to see what you guys got. And then next week I'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Hopefully I'll get another co-host in here. We'll get his, and this and that. So this one they have the NL East. So the Phillies, the Mets, and the Braves are getting better, but they're far from competing with the Nationals, who will win the division for the fifth time in 8 years, I should say. I do think the Nationals are going to win this division. I think they're the best team in this division. Do I think they go far? I don't know, because they're so inconsistent, but they don't have Dusty Baker anymore, so that's a plus. NL Central, the Cubs got better, but the Brewers may have done even more this offseason. Milwaukee will win its first division since 2011. I don't know about that. I still have to pick the Cubs. The Cubs just got a very daunting, lineup. Their pitching staff is okay, but I think I got to pick the Cubs here. NL West, the Diamondbacks and the Rockies are coming, but the Dodgers rotation is too consistently good. Yes, I do pick the Dodgers to win this division. Wild cards, they got the Cubs. Will get into the playoffs, as they will also threaten to win their division. They will be joined by the Diamondbacks, whose top two of Zach Greinke and Robbie Ray will lead them back to the playoffs for the second straight year. For the NL champ, they have the Nationals winning a series and end up losing to the Dodgers in the NLCS. In the World Series, they have the Dodgers will pull off its experiences in the 2017 World Series and knock off the Indians in 6 games. NL MVP, they have the Rockies won't make the playoffs, but it won't be because of Nolan Arenado. Colorado's third baseman will win the MVP and threaten to hit 350. Don't see that happening, but I could see Arenado winning the MVP. Cy Young, the Cardinals' Carlos Martinez was always compared to Pedro Martinez as a prospect, and he will join the Hall of Famer as a Cy Young winner with 200 innings, 250 Ks, and a sub-250 ERA. It's easy to get a sub-250 ERA in the NL, not here nor there. NL Rookie of the Year, the hot pick is the Braves outfielder Ronald Osuna, but our pick is Phillies catcher Jorge Alfaro. He has Gary Sanchez power with Yadier Molina's arm, and he's under nearly as much pressure as Osuna to produce. And he's under nearly as much. Comeback player of the year, the Pirates' Jameson Taillon went through a cancer scare and less than stellar season with a 4.44 ERA. He'll drop that to at least 350 and toss close to 200 innings as he will take over as the Pirates' ace for years to come. Now, I understand that, and at least a 3.50 ERA, I don't think that's going to match up to a guy like Kershaw. Maybe when Madison Bumgarner does finally come back, I don't see that happening. So now we're going to get into what I was saying before. So this is the sportingnews.com. So they have writers like Ryan Fagan, Jason Foster, Joe Rivera, Tom Gatto, and that's it. All right, so, I'll go through these and I'll give myself before I end up getting out of here. So Ryan Fagan has, in the American League, Yankees winning the East, Cleveland winning the Central, Astros winning the West. That is my 3 teams. In the National League, he has the Nationals in the East, Cubs in the Central, Dodgers in the West. Those are my NL teams. In the wild card, Red Sox and Angels, that was mine. Diamondbacks, Cardinals. I don't know about the Cardinals. Diamondbacks, I could see. Cardinals, are on the fence. MVP, Mike Trout with the Angels. NL, Chris Bryant with the Cubs. You might, call me a homer or whatever. I just see Giancarlo Stanton winning the AL MVP now. With, Yankee Stadium the way it is, And just having that lineup and having, really those guys around him, I think are just going to make him even better. So I have to pick Giancarlo Stanton as the AL MVP. In the NL, I could see Chris Bryant winning it, but I'll give my NL MVP in a little bit. Cy Young, Corey Kluber, and Noah Syndergaard. I don't see Noah Syndergaard winning it. I see Kershaw, Corey Kluber. I don't know. I'm going to put Luis Severino in there. Yes, call me a homer all you want. I don't care. I don't care. Rookie of the Year, Dustin Fowler with the A's. Obviously a ex-Yankee. NL, Lewis Brinson for the Marlins. World Series, Cleveland and the Dodgers. Expect another down-to-the-wire World Series classic between two of baseball's best teams. I flipped a coin and came up with L.A. Now they give what's exciting, what I'm excited about, and a storyline to watch. So this is what he's excited about. As always, I cannot wait to see things I never even considered might happen. Baseball never disappoints. Out of nowhere stars, rookies doing jaw-dropping things, seemingly moribund teams bum rushing October. We love the game because the game continually surprises us, and this is what I love about baseball. It always surprises us. It always does. You cannot go into a season and say, you know what, it's going to be the Yankees against this team. It's going to be the Dodgers against this team. It's going to be the Cubs against this team. It's going to be, the Astros against this team. You can't say that because that's how crazy baseball is. Anything can happen. It's 162 games. Basketball, you could go right in. Warriors, Cavs, Warriors, Cavs, Warriors, Cavs, whatever you want to do. It's just always going to be the same thing. And that's why we love football, too, because it's always different. It's always different. Yeah, the Patriots are somehow always there. We understand that. But it doesn't happen all the time. And it's always, kind of up in the air. I mean, the Patriots were down 28-3 in the Super Bowl. We didn't see that happening. So, this is what I love about baseball. Now, his storyline to watch, the lead up to this year's trade deadline will be fascinating. So many stars will be free agents after the season, and watching teams try to decide which guys to trade and which guys to hold on to with the playoff pushes will be intriguing. Which team lands Manny Machado? Will the Jays trade Josh Donaldson? If the Giants struggle, do they move Andrew McCutchen? How do the Orioles say goodbye to Adam Jones, the longtime face of the franchise? And if and when these teams decide to trade their free agents to be, which teams are actually buying? With so many teams content to rebuild, the number of teams that will actually be buyers doesn't figure to be as large as years past, which makes it a buyer's market. Now, Jason Foster has the Yankees, Indians, Astros, Nationals, Cubs, Dodgers, Red Sox and Angels, Diamondbacks and Cardinals, Mike Trout as the AL MVP, Paul Goldschmidt as the NL MVP, Cy Young, Chris Sale, Max Scherzer, Rookie of the Year, Francisco Mejia, and NL Ronald Acuna. World Series, Astros and Cubs. The Astros will again provide great postseason fun, but they'll come up short this season as the Cubs win their second championship in 3 years, and this time they'll clinch at Wrigley. What I'm excited for, among other things, I'm eager to see just how many home runs Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton will hit this season. How many times will they go back-to-back? Will the total distance of their combined homers be more or less than 10 miles? Speaking of righteous moonshots, I'm also eager to see Ronald Acuna get called up and do his things. He should be a good one. Storylines to watch: will Shohei Ohtani turn out to be a good Major League player? If so, as a hitter or a pitcher? If not, how will the Angels handle him this season and beyond? When will the Braves call up Acuna? Will they wait the minimum number of days to secure that extra year of service time? Or will they wait a week or two later to give the experience that is his call-up was based on baseball things? Joe Rivera, Yankees, Indians, Astros, Nationals, Cubs, Diamondbacks. AL Red Sox, wild cards, Red Sox and Twins, Dodgers and Mets, MVP, Trout and Goldschmidt. Cy Young, Severino and Kershaw. Those were my Cy Youngs. Rookie of the Year, Gleyber Torres, Ronald Acuna. I like those. I like those two. World Series, Yankees and Cubs, I like those two as well. The Yankees will beat the Cubs in 2018 World Series. It is the greatest World Series ever played. Each game goes 15-plus innings and lasts 5-plus hours of nonstop action. The commissioner's office won't know what to do as the length of game, pace of play issues are compounded on the biggest stage of them all. What I'm excited about: the youth movement continues in baseball. It's a golden age for young talent across the sport, and there's even more coming. Walker Buehler, Gleyber Torres, Ronald Acuna, Ahmed Rosario, and not to mention Shohei Ohtani. Also, I'm really excited for dingers. Lots of dingers. Storylines to watch. The health of the Mets again. Will the Blue Jays blow it all up? Will the Brewers make noise in the NL Central with all the moves they made? Will the Dodgers stumble out of the gate? Tom Gatto, Yankees, Cleveland, Houston, National League, Washington, Cubs, Arizona, Wild Card, Boston and the Angels, NL Dodgers and Milwaukee, MVP Trout and Goldschmidt, Cy Young, Verlander and Strasburg, Rookie of the Year Ohtani and Osuna, World Series Houston and Washington. Washington has the depth and talent right now to knock off LA and Houston in consecutive postseason series, but GM Mike Rizzo will make sure the roster is absolutely loaded heading into October. What I'm excited about, watching Shohei Ohtani try to change the game with his two-way talent, the races in both West divisions, one or two so-called tankers actually contending for the wild card spots, looking at you, Pirates and White Sox. Storylines to watch. How many players will be adversely affected by signing late in the offseason? Pitchers in particular. Will Giancarlo Stanton be comfortable with the DH outfield hybrid role in New York? Will the spread of 13-man pitching staffs and super utility players kill the idea of straight platoons other than at catcher? So to me, I'm going to go with Yankees, Cleveland, Astros, Nationals, Cubs, Dodgers, Red Sox and Angels, Diamondbacks and Cardinals. MVPs, I can see Stanton, and I go with Chris Bryant. Cy Young, Severino, and I'll go with Kershaw. Rookie of the Year, I'll go with Osuna and Torres, Gleyber Torres. What I'm excited about is just to see how this Yankee lineup does with what they got. I want to see when Greg Bird comes back. I want to see what this team is actually going to do. It's going to be amazing to see. I'm excited. What the storylines to watch is, how Giancarlo Stanton's going to work with the Yankees. I mean, so far so good. I want to see the young guys come up. I want to see Gleyber Torres. Everybody's been talking about him. It sucks that he got hurt last year. So I want to see him finally come up and play. They're obviously going to wait that extra week or two to assure that he gets an extra year with the Yankees. I'm excited to see Shohei Ohtani. I want to see how that works out. Storylines to watch is just, really everything. I mean, just can the Nationals make their next step? Can they take their next step? Is there, are the Red Sox and the Yankees going to come down to the wire? What's the deal? This is what's exciting about it. I'm excited. Will the Cubs get back there? Will the Indians get back there? Will the Houston Astros get back there? Who knows? I'm excited to watch. I'm excited for the baseball season. I hope you guys are too. The NFL, they did some rule changes. The draft is coming up soon. I'm excited for that. We'll get more into that next week. I didn't really have much to talk about with that. But yeah, I'm excited for the baseball season. I mean, we already have some controversy with the Orioles and the Twins. I thought it was a stupid argument for the Twins. Just go out there and play, and just stop complaining. Stop complaining. Aaron Boone, I hope he really shortens up his mistakes here. So, but I hope everybody has fun watching the NCAA National Championship game tonight. Michigan and Villanova. Watch it tonight. It's going to be an interesting game. I think Villanova takes it. I'll be back next week. Tomorrow, Yankees opening day. Hopefully everybody has fun with that. I'll be back next week talking sports once again. Hopefully I'll have a new, maybe a co-host or two next week. But we'll bring back some segments, maybe real deal or no deal. Who knows? But that will do it for today's Running Up the Score. I'm Jerry. Be breezy.
Be breezy.
And it is all over!
You've been listening to Running Up the Score.
We run up the score on Sports Radio.